we've lost like $60 in value. Oh no, it's terrible. No, guys. Okay.
Chad would drive lightning, the Positively Charged YouTube channel. Today, I'm with Jeff, the Nijineer, YouTuber extraordinaire, Aptera solar motor vehicle investor, EV enthusiast, and EV reporter. Jeff, thanks for being here to talk about Aptera with us today.
Yeah, absolutely. Great to be here. You will literally catch me anytime. You could just like throw me a message. I will be there. Like you guys are my favorite channel. I gotta,
Oh,
I
stop.
gotta represent over here.
It's very kind of you to say, and you're definitely our favorite channel. We watch everything you put out. We find it fascinating, and we're grateful for it. I want to talk to you about what's happened recently. Of course, the big news you reported on your channel, we've talked about it on our channel, is the initial public offering. I know that's kind of become like, is it really an initial public offering? But Aptera is now active on NASDAQ, and with that comes opportunity for huge growth. Now anybody can invest at any time, and Aptera could sell shares to Circle Capital, I think it's called, raise money and get to production. So I'm super excited by it. I'm not caring so much about the number where it's at.
Hmm.
Some people are saying, well, the stock tanked. Well, not really, because it didn't really have an actual value, right? Until people start buying it. What's your take on that? Like, not that we would ever give advice on stocks, you and I, but what's your take just as an enthusiast on the stock number, how it fluctuates, or what is, have any idea? I think you did a show about what that means a little bit. Could you share with us some of that?
Sure. So the first thing, it's interesting that there was a lot of chatter about how people were like, "Oh, we've lost like $60 in value. Oh no, it's terrible." No, guys. Okay, you gotta understand. Stock doesn't have value until it's associated with something real. Until the moment Aptera stock went on sale, it was worth $0. Just point blank period, it was worth zero. The fact that it's at $8 now is phenomenal in my opinion because the price that people paid to get into investing in Aptera was their own decision. And most people tend to like say things like, "Oh, it's it's bad that Aptera stock went down because of this, that, and the other," or the way that they sold the stock at first was weird, or there's a whole bunch of man, you should see my comments, it's crazy. But anyway, so long story short, the value of Aptera, the perceived value of Aptera was based on an estimation. And that estimation is how they decided how to sell the stock and what to sell the stock at. When that estimation meets reality, it's going to be different, regardless of whether or not it was up or down or whatever. It's going to be different. And so now that we have tangible in reality numbers for what Aptera stock is worth according to investors and supply and demand and stuff, now we can start to get a real reference point for what Aptera can be worth as far as what people actually perceive like in reality. Like that right now we are in reality. $44 or like I think it was 44.40 was the perceived value. Somebody took some numbers on some paper and said this is about how much it should be worth. And then when it came to when it actually started going on sale, we learned that the estimation was not where the perceived value was. So that's basically what's happened so far.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, speaking of which, kind of jumping back to your actual question here, I'm sorry I went on a tangent. But basically, the first thing that happened was Aptera went like dead silent for a month and a half, almost 2 months. And people freaked out. And I went on my channel and said, "Hey, please don't freak out because this is normal because they are preparing to bring their stock to the world. You're not allowed to talk about it. You're not allowed to make announcements. You're not allowed to speculate about where Aptera is while they're doing that paperwork, because if you do, they have to restart the paperwork. Well, worst case scenario, they have to restart the paperwork. Best case scenario, they have to pause and calculate all the extra stuff that you put out into the numbers for what they're going to do for letting the stock be public. So, yeah, Aptera could not talk about it. When they could talk about it, they told us, "Hey, we have permission to put our stock on NASDAQ." And everybody was like, "Whoa, my goodness." I remember that video being particularly jubilant in the comments. And then, of course, the day that the stock went public, the comments went a little sour. And I understand because people don't understand the disconnect between the perceived value and the real world value and how that tends to go. Like there is not a single company that I've ever seen anyway where you have uh, a company that has perceived value. Like they're not on the roads yet. You can't buy an Aptera yet. So everything that people say about what Aptera can do, Chris and Steve talking about the fact that it can go 40 miles a day, all that kind of stuff, that is all perceived. And so even if the numbers are based in reality, they are perceived until somebody can drive it down the road and buy it. And so that affects how the stock moves. And any stock that I've seen where they're not yet offering a product always goes down. Um, let's see, there's a good example that I had a little while ago. There was a pharmaceutical company that said that they could do something that nobody else in the industry had done before. I'm not going to be too terribly specific because I'm going to give it away if I do. But anyway, they said we can do this thing. And the market was like, oh my goodness, if you can do this thing, you're worth $1 billion already. And then the company went public against the better judgment of some of the other people that were investing in the stock. They're like, Ned, don't do this, please. Anyway, they went public and they tanked so fast. Like y'all thought Aptera tanked fast. You should have seen this one. Anyway, minutes because they had no data that could substantiate their claim. Their stock plummeted in minutes to uh, just right around $1.50, something like that. Um, that is how it goes until you have product in hand, stuff on the road, people enjoying your product, whatever that product may be. If you go public, you're probably going to lose value unless there's you have somebody that's really good at hyping, like hype man, something. I don't know. Yeah, Aptera went exactly the way I was expecting, except for the fact that I didn't know that they had to start at $19. That was the only thing that was weird to me.
Good night, everybody. That should cover it. This is what makes you the best person to interview, Jeff. I ask one question and I get gold for minutes. I love it. Thank you. Where Aptera is now, the idea is informing the public, educating the public, letting people see it. And I think already this coming Tuesday, they're going to be at an event already. So
Yes.
getting people's eyes on it. They've talked about getting a couple on the road, going around the country. So with the stock price hovering wherever it is, 5, $8, wherever it is, I
Mhm.
think, Jeff, as more people see it, they're going to be like you and me. When we first learned about this a couple of years ago, what did we do? We invested a little bit, we got
Right.
involved. Yeah, so I'm hoping that's what happens. That's what I see happening. Where are you at? How do you feel? Are you feeling hopeful about the near Aptera future? Are you scared a little bit? Where are you at?
So I am and have always been a perpetually hopeful person. Um, I'm the kind of guy that when I saw Aptera, I'm like, oh, this is the best thing since sliced bread. They're gonna go, $2,000 per share or something like that. That's the idealistic me speaking, but like rooted in reality, like it depends a lot on where their marketing campaign goes from here. In my opinion, if they do a good job with the road trip and make sure that a lot of people understand what Aptera is, go to places where people are. A lot of influencers and stuff across the country should get access to it as they go along the way. If they do it right, then there is no reason why they can't hit 25, $35 before even the end of that road trip.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, maybe that is still a little idealistic, but yeah, I'm guessing that's where they're going to end up by the end of their road trip. If they make it to production and they are as popular as I think they could be, because you are literally getting a vehicle where you might not ever have to charge it, the sky's the limit. Like I don't see a situation where Aptera makes it to market and people just like let it die on the vine. There's no chance.
No
So
chance. Yeah.
yeah,
I saw a YouTuber that you and I both like, Marquise. I saw a short showed up in my feed yesterday. I don't know if this was old or new, but a while ago, like last year, he made a video. It wasn't necessarily intended to be negative, but he was just kind of rating the likelihood of startups making it. And
right.
he put Aptera low, and you made a rebuttal video to that, which I appreciated. But this was a short, and on this short, it was one of those negative but positive, like like this is an interesting vehicle, but it's shaped weird.
Yeah.
But that's because it's hyper efficient. So it's kind of good disguised as bad. So
Right.
I don't, was that a newer, did you see that? If you saw that, is that newer? Because if it is, then he's probably going to come out with a long form soon.
Yes. So that was one of the, like, it basically came out very shortly after Aptera IPO'd.
Okay.
His Marquez, in my opinion, is fantastic at grounding an idea in something people can hold on to, something tangible. And so there's the fact that yes, this thing is going to be awesome, but he also brought it to reality a little bit. Yeah, right now this doesn't exist. So do I think that his video was unfair or anything like that? Not really, no. It's just that it so I have attached myself to Aptera in probably a very unhealthy way, like parasocially almost. And I'm like, oh, you talk bad about my Aptera, don't you? Yeah, that's where my head is at usually, and I had to calm myself down and like think about it rationally. But yeah, no, I think his video is going to say what we already know as Aptera fans, that Aptera is amazing and the wave of the future. And if they make it to production, then the sky's the limit. That's just it.
Yeah. What I like about him in general is his videos. One of the few YouTubers that
Hmm.
can make like a 12 or 15-minute video and I'll watch the whole thing, even
Yeah,
if I don't care about the product. You know,
exactly.
he's engaging. He's like the best YouTuber next to you, Jeff, of course.
Oh man, no,
But
don't do that. You're way better than I am.
no,
What
I'm
do
not.
you
But he does
think?
such a good job. So I think if he really digs into this like you and I have, studies it like you and I have, learns about it, and learns about the team, because that's a big part of this. I want to ask you a question about that in a minute too. But
Mhm.
learns about the team, I think he'll be on board, and he might even geek out like us about this thing because he's basically a nerd, just like the rest of us. And if that happens, his voice matters. You know, he's an influencer because he's influential, because he
Mhm.
tells the truth to the best of his ability, from what I can tell. He doesn't promote junk. And if something's junk, he'll call it junk. If something's good, he'll call it good. So that's my take on Marquise in general. It's like, okay, don't get too close to this thing because it's going to suck you in like it did me and Jeff. And you're just going to be a fanboy like the rest of us, which in his case could be very good for us, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I was just gonna say, like, if he jumps in, becomes a fanboy, like, I'll be like, yeah, dude. Yeah, I see. We were telling you. We were telling. Yeah, it's funny.
Welcome to the party.
He's talked about on more than one occasion people like telling him to review Aptera, and he's given
Yeah.
his reasons why he doesn't review Aptera and things like that. And it's like, yeah, so whenever you do get behind the wheel and get to the chance to drive it and put the review out, you're just gonna tell us what we already knew. We
Yeah.
already knew this. So
Yeah. I was sold a while ago, like you. But when Sarah and I went to Carlsbad and we sat in the Aptera, and this was the older prototype, the Alpha, and we
Mhm.
rode in it with Chris M. It was like, okay, I thought I understood it. Now I understand it better and I like it more
Mhm.
and I get it. So I think the same thing's gonna happen with some of these big influencers. But here's a question I had about the staff. This is something
Yeah.
that came up just about like 2 days before the NASDAQ listing. I
Mhm.
was talking to some people that are pretty savvy investors about the way it's happening, and no, two people told me, said, "Here's the problem with them going to NASDAQ as a direct listing. There's nothing to stop the founders from cashing in their chips, basically selling all their stock, taking the cash and walking away." And I said, well, there's one thing stopping them. I know them, like person to person. I've spent time with Chris Anthony. Sarah and I have spent over an hour with Chris Anthony on our channel and in person in Carlsbad. He gave us an interview. There's something about the people involved that gives you and me confidence. I want to ask your opinion in a minute.
Mhm.
Beyond that of just a cold-hearted corporation, or just even a warm-hearted corporation that runs into hard times and things happen. I know the people, and to me that makes all the difference. And I can't really convey that to an audience. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Precisely. I know exactly what you're talking about because I am. like I have not had a lot of time around Chris Anthony. Um, it was what, a 7 or 8 minute conversation while we were at CES. Uh, just those 7 or 8 minutes kind of told me all I needed to know about the guy. He is upbeat, he's positive, he's generally the type of person that tries to push people forward, like tries
Right.
to encourage people. Like I was uh kind of talking about my situation with my college degree. I am 5 credits away from a college degree, and I do not have it because I ran out of money before I got done with that whole situation. I was mentioning that to him, just I don't know why, but trauma dumping, what the heck? Anyway, so I tell him this, and he's like, "Yeah, you just had to get, the usual positive speech. Yeah, you just have to push through it. You can do it, man. You got
Oh,
this, and then you can
nice.
apply to Aptera." I'm like, dude,
Wow.
I can't even quantify how much difference that made in just those little 5 or 6 minutes. I understood him as a person. With Steve, I've had a lot more time with him. I've actually done an interview with him. Uh, yeah, just in general, he's an awesome guy. He's the realist slash analyst to Chris Anthony's optimism, and they work so well together in that way. Yeah, the marketing staff, the engineers, everybody who I've met, not only are they knowledgeable, but they are driven to get to the end. And so
Yeah.
when people talk about, yeah, he could actually, they could sell all their stuff and get out and make sure, while that is something that they could do, it is so disconnected from how I perceive them, from how they presented themselves, that I don't even understand how that enters people's minds, except for the fact that they have no idea who the founders and stuff are. So, yeah, that's the only way I could put it. If you know them, you know that's not possible.
That's exactly my feeling. And it's so funny to me just listening to what you said. So Sarah and I had
Mhm.
the privilege a couple times of interviewing Chris Anthony. He's our people.
Right.
You had the privilege of interviewing Steve Fabro, who we don't understand at all. Sarah and I, we're like, every time, like, no, I just don't get it. I think one time Aptera, one of the people asked, "Do you want to interview Steve?" I'm like, Chris available? I mean, it is nothing negative, of course. It's just the different way people think. Like you said, more analytical. Chris is more all heart, but he's also very smart too, which they
Yeah,
both are.
absolutely.
So it's just kind of funny because it's like a perfect fit, Jeff and the Nijineer and Steve and Chad, Sarah, and Chris. It makes sense to me.
Fair enough.
How about the hiring Aptera has done? What do you think about that so far? There's been quite a bit of hiring recently, up to 33 employees again, I think.
So, yeah, there's been quite a few different hirings. They announced their chief engineering officer, engineering specialist. I can't remember the position name, but
Right.
the guy who they announced to head their engineering uh, is very well pedigreed. His experience extends a decade and a half, I think,
Hmm.
all over the automotive industry, all over tech in general.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really solid hire. I don't know what they're paying him, but yeah, that's a really solid hire.
It kind of
Um,
sounded like he was the guy that sort of got the model, was it the Model S and the Model X over the finish line for Tesla?
yes, yes,
Yeah.
he was the guy who, if he wasn't the guy, he was in the room with the guy.
The
So
the
yeah,
room where it happens. It's in the room
exactly.
where it happens. Yeah, that was exciting. And then of course you've seen, I know I've seen, and you have the list of job openings, and they're just steadily filling these job openings, which is exciting times.
Yes. Oh, I looked through those job openings like, anything for media, anything that I could do. Yeah.
Yeah.
So at the moment, there's not, but when that happens, I'm there.
There very well could be because, Chris McCammon's been promoted to the head of marketing now, which of course used to be Sarah Hardwick and then Quincy, and then it was Audra and Chris and all that. You know how the progress has gone. So
Yeah.
Sarah's off to some other adventure, sarahhardwick.com. Check it out.
Yeah. I'm about to say I'm
All,
still following her
yeah,
progress on her
me too.
project and
Yeah,
stuff.
we
So
had a nice interview with her a while back when she started her new endeavor. It was such a privilege. She is special. And I
right.
think Quincy just went to work with her, if I'm not losing my mind. Either,
I
yeah, I think
think
Quincy
so.
just did,
Yeah.
yeah. And then Audra's out there doing great things too. So that leaves Chris as kind of the last person standing. So, hey, Chris, Jeff would like to come work with you. If that don't do it, there's nothing else I can do. I mean, that's the
Right?
best.
Hey, I
Yeah,
appreciate you trying.
yeah. He gets glowing references from me and Sarah for sure. Let's talk about your channel a little bit while we got you here. So how are
For
things
sure.
going so far? I'll tell you what I like about it after I hear what you think about your channel so far. Let's hear it.
All right. So, oh, that's a weird question. I never actually
Well,
talked about me.
you
Yeah.
should.
Anyway,
You should.
so generally speaking, I think that my channel is in a very interesting place overall. Like I'm trying to, well, the goal of my channel in general is to bring light to other creators that are doing interesting YouTube content. Scientists in like obscure corners of the workspace that are trying to put together a big idea that has merit. Just trying to pull together all the stuff that people might have missed that they could be interested in when it comes to uh, the energy revolution in general, specifically EVs because that's my wheelhouse. But hey, that's my wheelhouse. But
Wheelhouse. I get
I,
it. Yeah.
I didn't even try to do that one. That was just
It's punny. Very
no.
punny.
But yeah, so the goal of my channel is to be a light, a beacon to places that don't necessarily get much light. And so yeah, that's where I am right now, where I want to stay. I want to oh, we'll talk about something later, but yeah, ideas are ruminating in here. There's a lot going
Good.
on.
Good.
I know it might not look that way all the time, but there's stuff going on in there. But yeah.
Well, you've come a long ways from
Oh yeah,
crisscross applesauce. Remember that?
man.
You were
So
sitting in a closet or something. You're sitting Indian style. Before that, if I'm not mistaken, for a long time you were doing faceless videos. You were
yes, I
talking,
was.
and I think you got some encouragement, definitely from us and maybe some others. Like, hey, we'd like to connect with you. To connect with you, we're going to have to see you once in a while.
Sweet. All right. Hello, greetings, and welcome everyone. Uh, Welcome to where the magic happens. This is where I record the audio for my videos. I am currently standing in my closet, and if you're wondering why I was prompted to do such things, stand in my closet and show my face, is my wife said that I should put my face in my videos more often. So here's my face. My wife watches the videos, so shout out to you, my love. Rock of my life and all that jazz.
And then when you made that change is when I think, in my opinion, and Sarah's opinion, your channel really became something we look forward to. You
Oh
usually
yeah.
have like 2 or 3 stories, which you say right in the beginning what they're going to be, and then you say, and then some things I like, and you'll usually highlight a different video or something that stood out to you, which we really appreciate. Once in a
Mhm.
while, it's us. We're like, whoa, wait, that's us. And then sometimes you do outtakes at the end. So I think you're on the right trajectory from, you know, I don't know anything, but as a fan, I know I like what you're doing, the Nijineer, Jeff, and we appreciate
Appreciate
you.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
no. So it's funny because a lot of the inspiration for what I did with respect to my channel came from you guys. So you always tend to keep things very lighthearted, very fun. The car driving to work videos, I could not do those because I didn't have like a little gimbal and stuff, and I could not afford one. And my wife was like, "You better not spend a lot of money on that YouTube thing right away. You better wait a minute." I'm like, you know what? You're right. Let me go ahead and get myself together. But yeah, so I went to my closet because the closet was the best sound in the house. And so it was like, it's kind of ironic that I ended up in the closet because it was the best sound in the house, but I enjoy my videos in the closet almost as much as I like the ones that I'm doing outside of the closet. I had to stop doing the closet videos because I still have like I think about sitting crisscross applesauce in the closet and my back hurts a little bit. So I was like, Never mind. I can't do it."
You get my age, you get down there and you can't get back up.
Oh, see, I
Yeah.
actually had to roll forward one day because I
Oh,
was recording for a good 25 minutes. I'm like, this is a mistake for a reason, but I don't understand the reason yet. I can't think of yeah, and then I tried to get it. It was like, okay, you know what, you're right. I knew better. I really did. Just here I am sitting on the floor, like rolling forward, trying to not hit my face on the clothes. And yeah, that
y-
was the moment where I
sa-
realized I needed to be somewhere else.
by now, most people have stopped watching. They got what they wanted out of the video, so it's just you and I talking, really. You, me, and maybe Sarah.
Mm.
One of the funniest videos you made is when you cut your hand all up.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Wait a minute, Sarah's in the background saying that was the funniest thing. She's out there.
Oh man.
She said I felt so bad, but it was just so well done. It was so good. I mean, I hate that you had to,
No, we're so
suffer for your craft, suffer for your art, Jeff. That's what that is.
so that's what it ended up being. Like I made the video because I was like, this is the darkest topic I've ever actually had to cover until very
No,
recently.
recently, yeah.
And yeah, like if I don't make it funny, it's just people are gonna be like, ew, oh no, oh. Yeah, I was trying to keep the ew situation from being a big thing.
One video you made recently that had Sarah and I in tears was what happened with your daughter at school with a
Mm.
potential gunman situation. Are you comfortable just explaining that again in case any of our audience didn't see that video, Jeff?
Sure, sure. So uh basically, I was running around town. I was doing some grocery shopping. I was about to head to the pet store because our cat was really good the past week, and we were like, we need to get some cat treats for the cat.
Good
So
man.
I'm doing
Good
that.
man. Take care of the cats.
Right? Seriously. My youngest loves that cat like a child or a sibling or something. So we, take care of her really well. But yeah, I'm running around doing that. And I get a text message from my kid. She's like, "Yeah, so could you guys see what's going on in the news? Like what's going down? Because they caught a shooter at the school. Like there's somebody running around in school." I'm like, I don't have a reference point for the words you just used. Could you give me a moment to absorb this, like figure out what's going
Mm,
on? And she's like, yeah, they caught this guy, they just escorted him out, and I don't know what school's gonna be like from now on. Could you come and get me? I'm like, dude, I'm there yesterday. So basically I dropped the stuff, like I was in Costco picking up stuff, and I was like, that's the end of this shopping trip, and I left it there and I
mhm.
just got to the car and went and go grabbed her. She told us later what happened, and we were like, dude, we, as a parent, generally just, but in general, when you are confronted with a situation like this, my first thought, and what my wife's first thought was later on, I did not know that she was thinking the same thing, but I mean, that's why we're married. But um, she said, you never think that that kind of thing can happen to you in your life to your kids and that kind of stuff. It does something to a person. And so the week that it happened, we were like, never mind. We're not Kids aren't going to school. We're like taking these last couple of days off. We are enjoying family time. That is what we're doing now. We are learning each other. We are growing together because you never know. Like tomorrow could be our last day and we wouldn't have even known. Yeah. Wow. But yeah, so basically we did a lot of that and sorting through it, thinking like that video where I talked about it was like 2.5 weeks in the making because just the concept of understanding and coming to terms with and accepting the fact that it happened, that was the biggest part for me because dad, protector, I'm supposed to be there, like shield in a minute. Yeah, I'm blocking the bullets with my arm. Whoo, slapping them away. That was not where I was where I was able to be. And that realization that I can't be everywhere at once and that I can't protect them all the time and all that kind of stuff, especially learning it that way was devastating. So yeah, just a couple of weeks just sorting through all that stuff. And then I was like, okay, we got to talk about it or else I'm never going to make another video. I have to get over this. So yeah, that's where that video came from.
So traumatic for you and your family. And something you just said was interesting, and you said it in your video too, like you don't think it's going to happen to
Mm,
you. And it's much less impactful, let's be honest. But similar in vein, when Sarah and I saw your video, we're like, we never thought we would know somebody
mm,
whose kid went through this. So I mean, we were empathizing, our heart went out to you and
mm.
your whole family, of course, but now it's like you see this on the news all the time. These school shootings here in Michigan, we've had a terrible one. And you're like, Well, I still don't know what, first of all, it's like, well, I never thought it happened in my state. That's over. It's like, never thought
Hmm.
I knew somebody personally whose child was in this school. And then your daughter, as I understand it from your video, was actually shut out of the classroom during
Hmm.
the dangerous time when wasn't there maybe two potential kids with guns
So
that ended up being?
at the end of the day, we don't know
We don't know. Okay.
how they planned it or how many people that there were. They've caught two people that we know of.
Okay.
Um, the way that our like when she was talking to her friends the next week about the situation, the the consensus was that there were multiple people.
Oh, man.
The two that were caught were planning on moving in from opposite sides of the school and just shooting people as they were moving toward the center. There are more than two doors. And so none of the kids really knew if there was another kid because there's more than two doors and people could have just left out of the doors that were left if they had not if there were not more than two. So we know that there were two. We do not know how many more there were because they only caught two. And so yeah, that's a whole sidebar there, but yeah, the kids had this planned out. The kids that were perpetrating the shooting had it planned out such that they knew the biggest entrances to the school and where to go and what route they were going to take. It was all planned out as far as I understood it. Now, this is hearing it through the grapevine from the kids at their school. So I don't know how credible any of that information is, but the fact that the police haven't told us anything is not encouraging because I feel like the more they wait on telling us about that stuff, the more likely it is that they knew that there could have been more shooters and they don't know where they are. So yeah, that's a whole nother sidebar.
Sarah and I started feeling a little monkey D. Luffy on that.
Oh yeah.
No one messes with our friends.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh, man. Okay, I won't torture you anymore with that, but thank you for sharing with our audience. I know
Absolutely.
this audience here, for whatever reason, and maybe yours is the same,
Hmm.
they're just real people and they really do care about the other people in this community. Whether
Hmm.
it's the EV community, the Aptera community, just the YouTube community, they actually care. So they're going to want to hear that you're doing okay now, and they're going to be grateful to hear that you've been able to process it as a family. And we're grateful to hear it too, Jeff.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that's one thing that's been kind of a consistent thing over the course of my entire interaction with the Aptera community. It's part of the reason why I stuck around, why I make videos now, is that everybody that I've met is a real person.
Yeah,
They are always caring, always warm, always open to conversation. Even if we don't always agree, they will
that's right.
always, yeah, they're comfortable with letting me know that they don't agree with what I said and what have you. And it's like, I don't I don't think there's a way that I could have found a better community of people to work with, to be around, to talk to uh, gab at through my YouTube videos than this group of people because they're all people and they understand that everybody else is a person as well. So it
I
just
agree.
I can't talk nicely enough about those guys. They're
They're,
wonderful.
they're special. To mention just a few, thank you to the members of the channel that keep the wheels turning on the Positively Charged YouTube channel. You are appreciated. Jeff, let me get a last prediction from you. What's the next month like for Aptera Solar electric vehicles?
I suspect that within the next month or so, they're probably going to be really hammering down like the locations for their road trip. I don't know if they're going to get the road trip started before Christmas season. Um, if they can't, then maybe the planning stages will last a little longer, but I think next month we'll have a real idea of what exactly they're going to be doing for the road trip and where they're going to be going for the road trip and whether or not I can actually go along with them because I want to do that, but they haven't contacted me about it. So anyway, yeah,
That'd be
next month
cool.
is going to be planning for the trip, I think.
That'd be cool. And winter's coming. Why not come to Michigan in the winter? Why not go to New York
Exactly.
or Boston in the winter? Some of the biggest population centers in the US they haven't even touched yet. So the
Hmm.
future, it's like we're here with Aptera, but there's so much untapped potential. So I really think my predictions like yours. Get the road trip going because I think that's the top line.
Yeah.
Hey, we appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for taking the time. Thank you for the great videos you made. If you haven't yet, go to Jeff's channel. In fact, we're going to put a video up to one of his most recent videos, maybe right here in the middle somewhere. Click that video, check it out. If you haven't subscribed, subscribed. If you don't want to subscribe, just do it because it's the right thing to do. Okay? And thank you. Thank you, Jeff. Have a great
Yeah.
day.
Appreciate you. Always a pleasure.
Appreciate you.